A renewed push against Maoist insurgency is now at the center of the government's internal security agenda. Union Home Minister Amit Shah had set March 2026 as the deadline to eliminate left wing extremism, marking one of the most ambitious timelines in recent years.
जब ये देश नक्सल समस्या से हमेशा के लिए मुक्ति प्राप्त कर लेगा, हमारा संकल्प है कि 31 मार्च 2026 तक इस देश को नक्सल समस्या से हमेशा के लिए मुक्त कर हमारे आदिवासी भाइयों बहनों के विकास का रास्ता हम साफ कर देंगे, प्रशस्त करेंगे.
Former officials say anti-Maoist operations have seen continuity across governments, but with a sharper operational push in recent years. Opposition leaders stress that Maoism cannot be tackled through force alone. Samajwadi Party MP Dharmendra Yadav argued that the roots of extremism lie in poverty, unemployment, inequality, and oppression. He pointed to Uttar Pradesh as an example, claiming the state reduced Maoist influence by addressing these underlying issues. From the treasury benches, BJP MP Sudhanshu Trivedi launched a strong attack on previous Congress governments. He alleged that institutions like the National Advisory Council had undermined security forces during anti-Maoist operation. He also contrasted former Home Minister P. Chidambaram, who he said invited Maoists for talks without asking them to renounce ideology, with the current approach that demands they abandon violence and ideology. BJP MP Sambit Patra escalated the attack, accusing the Congress of quote unquote romanticizing Maoism. He invoked former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, who had once described Maoism as the country's quote unquote deadliest internal security threat. The Congress hit back strongly. MP Sattagiri Shankar questioned the ruling party's claims, asking whether contributions of previous governments and security forces were being ignored. He highlighted sacrifices made by political workers and leaders in the Maoist affected regions, particularly in Chhattisgarh.
अपने गृह मंत्री खुद जाके बंदूक लगा के सबको उड़ा रहे और बाकी किसी का कोई योगदान ही नहीं है. पिछले सरकार का, राज्य सरकार का, पुलिस का किसी का योगदान ही नहीं है. हमारे नेता कर्मा जी, वीसी शुक्ला जी, बहुत सारे नेता, नंद किशोर पटेल जी अपने जान गंवाए हैं वहां पे. एंड ये बोलते हैं कि हम नक्सल लोग के साथ मिले हुए. सबसे ज्यादा प्रभावित हमें बताइए, आजादी की लड़ाई में कोई भी भाजपा का बंदा कभी मारा गया? कोई भी नक्सल अटैक में कोई भाजपा का बंदा मारा गया? नहीं मैडम. छत्तीसगढ़ का टॉप प्लेयर पूरा उड़ा दिया गया इस नक्सलवादी के सीट में.
Experts say India's anti-Maoist strategy has historically combined both development and security measures, but political consensus remains elusive.
So, do you think fixing a deadline, as Home Minister Amit Shah has fixed, March 31st, 2026, LWE, left wing extremism will be eradicated from the country? Do you think it's a feasible thing to do? It's a practical thing to do?
It's not like switching on a mission and saying it's off. No, it's not dabbing a button and saying now it's the missile is flown and now the thing is gone. It has hit the target. No, it's an indication of resoluteness. It is to be seen in the light of the kind of morale boosting it has affected and the kind of impact it has had on the ground. More than 250 forward operating bases have been opened in the last few months. This is something historical. Now, when you say forward operating bases, what means we are penetrating into that area and so-called liberated zones are becoming our zone. There is something in three-block war, it is called. You have the white patch that is totally government is in domination. You have the gray patch in which half they are controlled, half we are controlling. Its ball is rolling sometimes this side. The public are tilting sometimes to us, sometimes to them, where bit of an ambiguity is there. Then the other one is the dark side, like Abujmad, an area which are not completely controlled by us, completely most with them. Now, these dark areas and gray areas have been almost removed. So that is a very, very major thing. Therefore, you should see the deadline in that perspective. When you see a deadline, deadlines are always sometimes tricky. You see, when we went into IPKF went into Sri Lanka, the then chief, a brilliant chief, Sundarji mentioned about a deadline. That deadline, we went much beyond the deadline. The deadline never materialized. When the BSF went to handle Veerappan operation in the year 1992 or 93, the then chief of BSF perhaps mentioned that we will be able to roll up within 30 days. I'm not mentioning because these are all two great men and I have great regard for them. I personally used to know them. What I am trying to say is deadlines will not be interpreted as exactly happening that day. But in this case, 31st March deadline, like I mentioned to you, except for this couple of guys in the Central Military Commission and the Politburo and Central Committee, the three units all at the apex, sometimes the members of one can be a member of the other two also. Like Basavaraju, who was the earlier and most deadly chap, much more deadlier than Ganpati, is gone. So when he was there, he was head of the Military Commission and a member of the Central Committee too. So the shrinkage is so much that I think the what Home Minister mentions in terms of materially it has been achieved. So this deadline has been much more successful than any other deadlines I have seen in the recent past with regard to similar operation.